Monster review. This is the current free battle pass monster. I don't even know what it's called. It's like battle pass exclusive. Yeah. So if you get your coins from just grinding out battle pass, having fun, you will get this monster's cells, probably enough to get him to rank 3 without even buying any of his cells, like if you're good. Or if you're a beginner, which I am very beginner friendly on this channel, you'll definitely get enough coins for this monster. And I'll go over if you think you should get this monster, because honestly, without thinking like of how in a week every single monster we have is going to be outdated, because like just to jump that far ahead already is kind of like stupid, because you don't want to put yourself there yet. But I will foreshadow it with every single monster is going to have a hard time in the new meta. And by hard time, I mean no shot. The stats are doubled, literally. Well, actually, only the life stat is doubled, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so Urchinion. Urchinions come from a very cold part of the ocean, where it's difficult to thrive. Queen Thalassa took pity on them and offered them a good deal. Join her army as honored fighter, or move to a new protected spot to rebuild society. The Urchinians who remained in the palace are deeply devoted to their queen and will fight for her until their deaths. So Urchinion is a galactic water and magic denier. His finisher, Crustacean Camaraderie, applies Aquaphobic Shield to all allies, deals moderate water damage to all enemies, applies Mega Freeze. I love moves like this. This reminds me a lot of Seal Kara's finisher, where it's just Mega Freeze and then protection. A phobic protection, to be clear. So let's go over his trait. He has, at rank 1, he has the Umbrella trait Hardened. I will say, this kind of does work against you. Someone next season is going to have an Umbrella trait hater. So Hardened, Tough, Bulwark, they're going to have triple damage against all of them. So this includes a ton of monsters. So it isn't immediately a bad thing. Like, it's not going to be like the Abomination hater meta, where just any monster with Hardened is never going to have a shot. But it is something to worry about. But the Umbrella trait is always nice. It's always useful. Maybe you block out some of the negative effects. Maybe it makes a difference. Okay, so his second trait, his rank 1 trait, is actually amazing. So this gives me some hope for him as a monster just to use. Definitely not going to be the most OP monster ever, but still. So immune to torture, this means if they throw like all of the tortures, and with the new ones, tortures are so deadly. I think they all did just get a nerf, but still equally deadly. So luckily for this guy, he has an immunity to one of the most powerful things in the meta right now, the insane amount of tortures, like 7 Sins, Teddy Bomb, Uriel. They're still up there, and especially Serpentex. I've just started using him, and I've seen like he uses 3 dots in one move, so definitely deadly. And I have a pretty good idea that the next meta is going to follow the same torture heavy like stuff, at least in the long run. So it's a great trait to have, period. And then rank 3, he has Status Caster Immunity to Freeze. At the start of the battle, he's immune to freeze. This is good because it kind of cancels himself out, as he is a freeze monster, a freeze denier. So if you're fighting Urchinion versus Urchinion or Seal Kara, there aren't too many good freeze deniers. You'll be protected. So mostly the big thing you'll run into is like it's good against random denial, and then you'll get freeze. So I'm running him as a denier stat. He's got a banner and a staff, so he's got stamina covered. Maybe you throw in a special banner for healing. So let's start off here, at the bottom of here. Deep Down. Deals low water damage to one enemy, applies drown to one enemy. 0 stamina, 0 cooldown, just do your attack with a dot. It's the usual. High Entropy. Applies boiling to one enemy. 0 stamina, 2 turn cooldown. No, 0 cooldown, 20 stamina. This one does damage for like a lower cooldown, but boiling is so powerful. So I guess Bursting Bubble, I do like this. It's just an AoE spammable boiling. For 0 turn cooldown, 30 stamina, and you do a little bit of damage if that's what you're into. I can't recommend any moves with damage on deniers and stuff like that because it'll just get reflected, and he could very easily die. He's not a monster with a revival essence. Wave Hunter. It's just a drowned AoE. Okay, he just has AoEs and singles of these dots. So Depth's Stance. Applies Cold Blood and 25% damage mirror to himself. I love this move. He applies Cold Blood. Cold Blood means you can go right past Taunt, right past Mega Taunt. Like, let me see. Right here. Bypasses taunt and mega taunt. So for a denier, this means you can just walk past a King Autumn and freeze the Uriel. And maybe this gives your attacker the shot it needs to, you know, maybe deny somebody. Maybe you freeze someone who had anticipation, and then the next turn you do an extra turn, you create disable King Autumn, like with Shadonia, and then it comes back to you. You have the opportunity to just start cleansing, and it just gives you a lot of open opportunities to be able to Cold Blood deny anyone. I know what you're thinking, just like Kanekro, if you have to set up Cold Blood, it might not actually be useful in battle because you might not get the opportunity to set up. He actually does have a move that it's just reminiscent of a Pierce move, but we'll get to that. So second, I like this move. I don't even know why you'd run this. It's the recommended move over this one. This one just applies Drowned and Boiling to all. I like this because he's not a monster you want to be doing damage anyways, so, why would you even advise that? But Drowned and Boiling on top of his Freezing Denial, that is a pretty quick kill. Like, Boiling is powerful. It'll do 25% water damage. It'll do a lot more or a little bit less. It won't do, it can't really be nerfed unless you're fighting a water fire monster, which is not at all common. I have a feeling we're going to get, like, an Aiden and Vaporwhirl reboot next season, but we don't know. And then you've got Drowned, so that is at least 35% damage minimum each turn. And if you have the right, like, elements against them, it's quicker. So 3 to, like, 4 turn death, it's great. Plus, it's on a 0 turn cooldown, so you can spam this, keep these dots on them. 2 powerful dots. It's amazing. Plus, Drowned drains your stamina, so that'll be nice. You won't see the effects of that immediately, but it'll become annoying for them if, like, you fight in a match of sustainability and they have Drowned and they just keep losing stamina. Because something people underestimate is stamina draining. Because, like, your stamina relic will immediately get your stamina back, but once those usually 2, maybe 3 uses of those stamina relics runs out, that stamina draining is going to be annoying. So great to have it on your side. There's Ice Menace, so you would ideally do this right after Depth Stance. 2 turn cooldown, 42 stamina. This monster does have pretty high stamina. At least it's in the 40s and then 1 in the 50 instead of, like, all in the 50s. So it applies Freeze twice to an enemy, applies Drowned. So this is just your, like, you apply Cold Blood, and let's say there's a Pure Pandolph, and, he has Bulwark. You can go past the taunt monster, but he still has Bulwark, so you don't know if this freeze is going to land. So you just do Ice Menace, and then boom, it lands, and maybe even it throws on a dot. The fact that you do 3 things kind of means that there's a shot that the 2 won't land, and then the last one will land, so the Drowned would land and not the freeze. But still, it's a great move. You've got great accuracy for this one. And last but not least, his definitely best move, probably going to be your first, that you do in every match, Cold Predator. Applies Cold Blood to itself, deals moderate water damage to an enemy, applies Freeze to an enemy, removes Cold Blood from itself. So Cold Blood would last 3 turns, but it's just like Beambot's Pierce, where you do your attack and then it removes it by the end of it. But yeah, this will mean you can go right past any taunt monster and just deny whoever you want. Now, I will say, one annoying thing about this monster is he only has 2 freeze moves, and one of them removes his Cold Blood. So that's an uh-oh. And he doesn't have any 0 cooldown, any other 0 freeze moves. So even if you do Depth Stance, you still can't really do too much with him. So there's a little disclaimer that even if you do set it up, and there was a Mega Taunt and the other 2 weren't dodge area, you still couldn't deny everyone. And usually on a denier, you want them to be able to deny everyone on the board with, like, a single then AoE. If this guy had a single freeze then AoE freeze, he would have been amazing. But sadly, that's not what we got. So let me try and showcase him. Let me see. Can I? No, they died here already. I'm using him to rank up my Light Voltic. Alright, so for fun, I think I'm just gonna... Alright, so PvP. Sadly, I am in the Legendary Leagues on this account, so I don't know how much of a shot he's even gonna have there. But this is a great display of what I... Oh my... This almost was a great display of what I was trying to show you. But she has positive effect, protection, evasion, and I can't get anywhere near that. So double life, reflect it. What? Why? I would have loved that, dude. Some damage. All right, so he is fast because wow, he is just a galactic monster at base 13,000 speed. Well, not base, but still, he got to turn in with these 150s. So here's where you do cold blood first. All right, so luckily he's not being touched because I have King Autumn. Any Megaton monster will do. I hope you don't like. It's not one of those things where he has to be protected by like the most powerful thing ever. Although obviously he will only have a chance here because he is. Alright, so I've got a plan here. He's running Tertullian's armor on his Autumn as well. So look at this. Here's the thing that I was saying. So now that I have Cold Blood, I'm a Cold Blood Denier, which is a very powerful and very fun to play with thing. I look at King Autumn and I decide, hey, I don't want to deny King Autumn, so I'm going to go right past him. Even though he has one of the most powerful traits for protection in the game, Megaton trait, I can go right past him. So I'm not going to do Cold Predator because this will remove the Cold Blood, so I don't need to use that yet. I see that if I go right past King Autumn and I get to UV Fusion, and by the way, this is level 100 with these speed runes, so he will have a shot in your beginner meta because he's this fast. So you just need to do the setup move and you can go past even like whatever Mega Taunt monsters or Taunt monsters the beginner meta uses. Which, by the way, we're going to be getting a good free PvP monster next season. So look, you do the double freeze, you do the drowned. Of course it all lands because, you know, I had double freeze. And then with her denied, I decide, okay, so, man, he's fast. I go back to him, and now I'm just going to give everyone these dots. And luckily, an AoE does work past Megaton because, you know, he has Cold Blood. I wasn't sure if AoEs would work like that, but it does, which is great. So now I decide I also want King Autumn denied, so he doesn't do anything that will really leave a lasting effect. Alright, and I'm just doing whatever now. I can keep UV Fusion Chain denied, so it looks like this is a win. Oh my goodness. I don't have any attackers here, though. Oh, but you can always have an attacker if you look. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this. This time, he'll definitely destroy himself. Attack him. Yup. Yes, King Autumn for the win. Sadly, Urchinion does find his way out. But not before he helped me win this match. I won a match in this meta with Urchinion. Of course, I did fight Matrigon and UV Fusion, who aren't like the best monsters, but you are never going to use him in a meta this high. And there, I just showcased with the Cold Blood, you can go past pretty much anything, so you just need to plan in cooperation with that. Of course, you won't have an Omnia, but I'd argue if he was fast enough and you had like a secondary support monster, like maybe Mother Talica, you wouldn't need Omnia. Only reason I need Omnia is because, you know, even though he is crazy fast somehow, he's not fast enough. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to turn transfer to you? Okay, this is perfect. So, look at this. I look at my monsters on the set, and there is no Megaton, so I'm just going to go straight into Ice Menace. Boom! He has Bulwark, but it still lands. So, boom, boom, boom. And then look. Let's say if K911 was a taunt monster, which taunt with Uriel is one of the most popular bases you'll find still to this day, I would go and I would do this, and boom, even though he has dodge area and there's a taunt monster, he can go right past it with that move. And sure, if you did do the self-apply Cold Blood, it would remove it by the time you do that move. It's one of those things you just have to work with, you know? Tireless. Boom. And then I'm just going to turn transfer to you because you have like a trillion dots. Do this. And now I wait. Or I do this. 2 good dots. Yes! Look at that. So you see, I said boiling is a great dot. It'll do always more or less because we do live in a fire meta. But it does 10% fire, 15% water, and 15% water is going to destroy light monsters. So, boom, sadly, Uriel is going to do Catholicon. Yeah. And then AoE wipe. Yeah, but still, this monster has a lot of potential just being exactly what he is. To pros, they'll just see this as, like, literally a new Georgia Lotto, and Georgia Lotto failed, so there's no reason that this guy would do any better. But for beginners, I think this guy is a really fun monster with a mechanic that beginners hadn't gotten their hands on until now. Because, like, if you tell me Connecro and Connecro and, like, who else? Lamuna, Iowa, and another paywall monster, Cthulhu the Great, were free-to-play friendly, I'd laugh in your face. They were pretty hard to grind for. But this guy is definitely going to be great for some beginners. He's a very fun denier to play around with an aspect that they're trying to push as the balanced Pierce, where you just bypass Taunt and Mega Taunt, which are very powerful, definitely the most powerful mechanics in the game, without, just being overkill. And he has a great trait of Umbrella Status Caster until the hater comes out. We still don't know who it is. I don't know if they're good. I'll keep you updated on that. And he has Immune to Torture, meaning he has an automatic, like, entry letter into the, into a good trait category with the Immune to Torture. If you fought a mirror match, they wouldn't be able to take himself out because of the freeze immunity. I think this is a great free-to-play bounty hunt monster. Better, definitely, than a lot of the ones we've seen before. So, I hope you get him. I hope you enjoy him. I hope you have fun. And happy bounty hunting, man. This is, like, been my favorite bounty hunt so far. I hope it's been the same for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I do a lot of repetition, if you guys have noticed. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you leave it a like. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Leave a like to support the video. Support the content. It means a lot to me. It shows me that I should be making more videos. It just makes my day. And, I make these to help you guys, although, I love making it so much because I used to be one of you guys where I didn't have anyone who would, like, other than Armor Gaming, but he really wouldn't keep beginners in mind. So I'm doing it, just for people like myself to really help them out with the game because I love making content too. Leave a comment and I will respond. What are your thoughts on him? You could just say nerf to Georgia Lotto if you want. But if you've got any thoughts on him that go any deeper than that, leave it in the comments down below. Do you like him? Are you going to use him? Tell me. And subscribe to join the Crab Army. We are nearly at 150 subscribers. We are at 141, and we are definitely on an upward spiral right now. So, subscribe before we hit 150. Be a part of the pre-150 gang. And, yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. Your favorite Omni-Crab, signing out. Peace.